Scarf, after 30 hours of confined space training, which was extremely stressful and miserable, and having not seen the Nintendo Direct on Smash yet. This is how I am right now. Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for the vlog, and it's going to be a two-parter. First part's going to be about confined space. Then the second half's going to be about the Direct. I haven't seen the Direct yet, so if you want to skip to the Direct talk, you can, but this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So, all around the world, there are places called confined space. These are very dangerous places that could kill you. And once a week, I'm going to have to go to a confined space. So, I could die. So let's talk about this. So confined space are just places where, just use my city for example. So the city of San Diego has over 11,000 confined spaces? Or was it 111,000 confined spaces? One of those numbers is bigger than the other. Basically, there's a lot of really small places all over the city that people have to get into if they have to make repairs, they have to inspect things, just whatever thing's going on. And these spots can have very dangerous situations. Now, what you're always testing for in confined spaces is you're testing for oxygen level, for LELs, which is explosives, for CO, which is carbon monoxide, and for H2S, which is hydrogen sulfide. You don't want your oxygen too high, you don't want your oxygen too low. At the minimum for breathing as a human being is 19.5 oxygen level. Atmospheric oxygen is 20.9%. And at 23.5%, you don't want to go down there. You don't want to do anything. You want to keep the lid closed because beyond 23.5%, oxygen is flammable. This is the thing to keep in mind. We don't deal with 100% oxygen as human beings. It's, like I said, in the air. It's 20.9% atmospheric. That's what the oxygen level is around us right now. That's just the normal air we breathe. So when you have like a scuba tank or whatever, that's 20.9%. That's what that is. It's for you to breathe through. And that's what it is. If you had 100%, you'd die. You would just die. That's just not how it works. So, you're testing for all these things. You test it before you go in, you test it while you're in there, and situations could change. And if they do, you might die. Or be in a bad situation where someone else needs to come in and save you. Now, here's the thing. The very unfortunate truth about real life is you don't necessarily want to be a hero because you could die too. 2 to 3 people die trying to save one person. And this is all over the place. This is all over America, all over the world. More people die trying to save the person who's dying down below. In a year, I'm going to get trained on being the person who gets killed trying to save someone else. The rescuer. How to do it properly so I don't get killed. Recent situations that have happened. So in Arizona, very sad story, father-son. It was a family business. They went down below into like a sewer, and they didn't use proper gas stuff to see what's going on down there. They figured it'd be fine. They thought it'd be okay. 2 brothers down there, and one of the guys' son, 18 years old. They're all down there. And they realized that the gas is bad. This is a very bad situation. And the 2 older guys, the brothers, they rush and get the 18-year-old out of the hole before they both succumb and die down in the hole. Very unfortunate situation, and the 18-year-old is damaged. He's not doing too well on that. Florida, also recently, 3 people died, 1 fireman was horribly injured. So, again, they're in a hole, they're in like a sewer kind of situation. Not a sewer, it's like a vault. And they've been doing this thing for like 30 years. They've never checked for gas, it's always been fine. But this one time, the hurricane happened prior, and it got a bunch of bad stuff in that vault. So they go into the vault, they never checked for it because it's always fine, and this time, dude falls over, and he's dying in there. So another dude jumps in, and he's dying in there. So another dude jumps in, and he's dying in there. So a fireman jumps in as well. He gets pulled out, and he has permanent brain damage. They didn't test for gas. The fireman who jumped in didn't have his air situation set up. He didn't have it set up, so he just jumps in and he, well, somehow survived, barely. The training is you're supposed to have just all this ridiculous amount of stuff prepared on you. And I'll have pictures. I'll give them the link so you can put in the vlog. And I'm going to put them on Twitter too. You have all these things happen. You have like a harness on you, which is used to hook up all the ropes to you so they can pull you out, or they can just keep attention to where you are. You've got a gas mask going on. You're getting that air from either an SCBA, which is above ground scuba basically, or you're getting just a line just coming through to you, or a smaller one. Well, this is the emergency one actually. You're getting some sort of air. That, or they're using a ventilation system to blow air into the hole to get rid of all the gases down there and to give you breathing air. That's what's going on. This is happening below you right now. Someone somewhere, in like a building or whatever, wherever you are, at some point, there's someone under you right now risking their life to make sure that your regular life stays regular. That is happening all the time. Everywhere. There are people just making sure life stays normal for everyone else. And they're risking their lives constantly. And I'll be risking my life once a week. So, they're down there, they're doing whatever work, and then they can come back out, and it's just, you just have all this hookup on you. You just hooked up to so many things, gas and everything, so you don't die. There's still situations you could make an explosion happen, or maybe animals are down there and they attack you. There's a lot of ways that you could get hurt, but the idea is to have as much preparation as possible for whatever situation. That's really what you're trying to do. And so, this class that I had to take, because I had to be prepared for it, was 3 days straight, and that was all I did, which was very, oh my god, you get crammed so much information into you knowing so many regulations and everything, because you need to know them all, you need to know safety, because if you don't, then you die. And they just gave us all these deadly scenarios, like the ones I just mentioned. They also told us about the Challenger explosion. The Challenger didn't explode. What happened, that big explosion you see, was actually just a separation of the parts. That wasn't an explosion, it was just the parts coming apart. That is insane. So the way they put it is, the Challenger explosion, is we're just calling it because that's a popular thing, was a normalcy of deviance. So what happens in life with anything, you're given the proper way to do something, and then you find shortcuts on how to do it. This is good in things that are not deadly, but in things that have to do with safety, if you make shortcuts, you get used to the shortcuts. You take these shortcuts going like, I don't need to waste 10, 15 minutes on this, because every time I've done it this way, it's been fine. It's been alright, I've been okay. Because you don't learn from things working out, you learn from mistakes. So you could spend 30 years not wasting time checking for gas in a thing because it's always been fine, and then that one time when you should have checked, you didn't, and you're dead. So what happened with the Challenger was they made shortcuts. And back in the day, they were planning on doing like a flight every 2 weeks with NASA. NASA was planning a flight every 2 weeks. That's what they were doing. And so they just kept putting shuttles out, and they were testing to make sure they would work out with the flights and everything. The Challenger was the 25th flight of that shuttle. That's when it exploded. 14 of the 24 flights before the Challenger flew, they knew there was a problem. This is the terrible thing. Because they had stress of they needed to keep going, they needed to stay on the clock, keep using these rockets. Keep using the shuttle and everything and having these rockets. Despite the fact that 2 years prior to the Challenger, what happened with the Challenger was the O-rings melted. And O-rings are not meant to melt. O-rings are at 5,000 temp, O-rings melt. Steel melts at 5,000. So the O-rings are steel, they melt at 5,000. What happened was the flames from the rockets are not supposed to get to the O-rings. They're supposed to just stay away from them, stay out. They're just blasting off, shooting the shuttle into the sky. By the way, each rocket weighs 1.3 million pounds, which is insane. And so they're just, they have all this fire coming out of them and to push them up. But the heat's never supposed to go to the O-rings. So 14 out of 24 times the heat got to the O-rings, and it just did some damage. 10 times it never touched the O-rings. And so 2 years before the Challenger, engineers are noting like, this is bad. This is very bad. This isn't good. We should do something about it. But because of the fact that the flight still worked out, and because of the stress of having to just keep doing flights, they never changed the O-rings. They never changed them because they did an experiment to make it okay. What they did is they took fresh new O-rings, damaged them, and did a flight, and it was okay. So because of that, they felt it'd be fine. They felt that because they intentionally damaged some O-rings and they didn't melt, they felt that they'd be okay. So we see this 14 out of 24 flights, the O-rings were damaged. They're not looking so great. And so 6 months before the Challenger, another safety guy says, it's going to blow up. It's going to be terrible. It's not going to be good. It's going to happen. This is just this is a bad thing waiting to happen. And then it happens on the 25th flight, on the worst possible flight, because that had like what, a teacher and some other just civilians in that shuttle. And boom, break apart. And that's it. That was the Challenger. The horrible thing to add on top of that is there is belief that it's possible they didn't die in the explosion, but they died hurling back into the earth. That's horrifying. And that is because of a deviance of normalcy. A normalization of deviance. That's what it is. When it comes to safety, don't take the shortcuts is basically the lesson there. If you're just doing whatever, make a pizza pie. You can take the shortcuts as long as it still tastes good. But safety, maybe keep all your procedures going. And so that definitely instilled in me, keep the procedures going. So that was just a lot of information. And then we did actual, like, you have to do the paperwork and all these things and just be in actual situations. And then on today, the third day, we had to physically do stuff. Just, oh my God, pure moving around in labor was ridiculous and all the things we had to do. We had to do a bunch of different scenarios and situations. And then they had us do the pipes. So somebody's got to do it. Someone's got to crawl in the sewer pipes. Someone's got to crawl in the water pipes to check for things. And the smallest we let people go is 18 inches. And I need to get a tape measure so I can show you how long that is. I have a tape measure. So, scarf across. That's 18 inches. That's how big the pipe is. That is the diameter, is the radius. It's the diameter. Across. 18 across. That's how big the pipe is. I had to crawl through that. Bigger, let's see. So what they have you do first is 24 inches, so 2 feet long. 2 feet long of pipe. So I had to crawl through that. And then it got shorter to 21. See, it's like the length of my arm. The length of my arm. That's how long the pipe was. I mean, that's how wide the pipe was. Then 18. I'll tell you right now, this was extremely stressful. That long. Let me get Kirby. Kirby is that much plus, okay, so it's the length of 1 and like 4/5 of a Kirby. That's how, going through the legs. That's how big that pipe was, lengthwise. I mean, not lengthwise, widthwise. That's how wide it was. I had to crawl through that. For a while. Now, picture how you're going to go through that. You have to crawl through. You're on your hands and knees. But eventually it gets smaller. And smaller. And smaller. And tighter. And by the way, they put bends in the pipe as well. And I've got a hard hat on. I've got a gas mask on. I've got knee pads. I've got a harness strapped to me. I've got all this stuff on me. And I'm crawling through. Well, it was more like this. Like this. And then you get to a point, because the 18's just too small, where you're like this. And you're just edging yourself forward somehow. I got my hand on the pipe wall. I'm right here. And I'm just like, ugh. And ugh. And that's all I could do. I'm just trying. I'm flopping like a fish trying to get forward because there's just nowhere to grab. I'm just trying to get as much friction as I can to go forward. It's claustrophobic. You are in a coffin tube. It was extremely stressful. And it's very tiring. I got to a point where I'm not done yet, and all I could do was lay there and breathe. And I'm like, I'm gonna crack. I'm gonna pop. I can't. I gotta keep going because I'm stuck here. There's no way out of this pipe besides forward. So I just keep going. I get to the edge and I just get myself out. And it was just so ridiculous. And that was only one thing. Another thing we had to do was we had to go through, I think it was a 30-incher at least, so a bit long, a lot wider, and we had to go in with 10 people in opposite directions. So we're crawling over and under each other, going through it, and it's an exercise in communication. And that was stressful and interesting because people were having fun, but it was, oh my god, it was just such chaos going on in there. Because just whatever situation that would have people coming and going, there you go. And then there was the push. So when you're a rescue guy, an emergency guy, there's going to be a situation where you might have to go into that pipe and it's too big for the tank on your back. So you got to take it off your back and put it in front of you, and you got to push it in front of you as you go. And you're pushing it and you're going, this is like 30 pounds. Push and then pull yourself or push yourself, whatever. Go and go and go and go. And you're just, there's no strength left by the end. You don't have anything left. You're taking big breaths. All you've got is the sound of yourself and the gas, and the air you're breathing. And you're just breathing. And you're pushing, and you're breathing, and you're pushing, and you're breathing, you're pushing. And there's nothing you can see. All you can see is pipe. It was so stressful. Oh my god. Play Metro. Play Metro, and it gives you the atmosphere of what a gas mask feels like. At least, the atmosphere of it. The breathing of it, the vision of it, it is accurate. It is very good job on them with that. But just actually being in there, and you're just alone in the pipe. You're alone in your coffin, basically. It was so stressful. And eventually I got through. It was a bit much. It was a lot much. And I was so exhausted. But we weren't done. We had more things to do. We did a bunch of other things. And then there was the vertical. So going into a sewer, back in the day you had to use that ladder. But you don't do that anymore because those ladders are old now. And so you have to get winched in. So you got your harness, you got your hard hat, you got everything on. And then they tested for air, they ventilated, they put the ventilation in everything. And then they hook you up. They put one on your back. They put one hook with line on your back. There's a winch on your back and a winch on your front. You got a big ring here and a big ring here. And they lift it up, so you get lifted above the air. You are hanging from your back using this hook. And then they slowly drop you in. And so you are resting on your harness. And if your harness is tight or too loose or whatever, you're going to feel it. And I felt it. And so what I was doing was I wasn't even letting myself rely on the harness because I was just so scared of it that I was just holding on to the cord for dear life going down. And you're going 12, 16, and then 16 feet deep. So we're going that far down. And I got my feet on the ground and I'm in a sewer. There are roaches everywhere. Everywhere. There is a freaking sewer line running between my legs. Because it's got a little canal there so you don't step in it. It's between my legs. They're having me check gas levels. Roaches everywhere. Spiders in random places. Extremely ridiculous. And of course it smells like poop. Because we're in the sewer. And it ain't a good smell. But we're down there. Well, I'm down there. Everyone else is up there. I'm down here. I'm in it. Everyone had to take turns going down to this thing. And I was just like, whoo, different kind of tomb. But I'm like, all right, I'm here. I don't want to go back up, honestly, because I don't want to deal with this, but okay. All right, I'm done. All right, pull me back up. And it's the same thing, but you're getting pulled up. You're getting pulled up from here. You're getting pulled up from the chest. you got brought down from the chest by the chest, and now you're getting pulled up by the chest. So once again, got my hands on this, and I've got no trust in leaning back in it. They got my full weight on this thing. They got all of me on this thing, but I'm just scared of just leaning back on it and something giving away. And it started making sounds where it made like weird sounds where the clip was just like, I'm like, oh shit. So I'm holding on to this thing with everything, and I'm pulling myself up sort of, and I'm using every ounce of strength I've got with this, just holding onto the wire, pulling me up. And you have gloves, of course, so you don't hurt yourself on that. And they're just pulling me up, and it just feels like forever, and then I hit my head on the freaking top of the damn silver thing, because the hard hat just dunk. Just dunk. Of course, I'm the one who does it. And I get pulled out, I'm like, I'm out, I'm free. And I was so out of breath. The whole day I was out of breath. With all the things we did, I was out of breath through stress and through just exercise of different things and just so many things. And it was so incredibly stressful. Random note, there was one girl, she was like 4 foot something, and she no making this up. She looked exactly like Lara Croft, but just shorter. She looked exactly like her. It was kind of trippy. I was like, holy crap, this chick looks just like Lara Croft. So when we had to lower her down, I was worried about something going wrong, because if you played in those Lara Croft games, that girl gets banged up a lot from rope. So, but didn't go so, things didn't go bad for her. And because of how small she was, because she was 4 foot something, she got through the pipes easily. She was the fastest one in everything. But oh my god, it was so stressful. Because I am not a very small man. I'm not a small man. I am a shorter man. I'm Wolverine-sized. But that's about it. And I'm like, this was humbling because people were faster. People were stronger. People were able to do things longer. Keep in mind, I'm a guy who's just checking things and making sure chemicals are working out and everything, and so people don't die. These are guys who are digging ditches, and they're doing things. They're using heavy tools all the time. Of course, they're going to be stronger. Of course, they're going to be faster and everything. But at the same time, it showed me the distance. It showed me where it is between me and people who do this for a living. And it was a wake-up call on that. It was very humbling, but also very, not depressing, but just like, Jesus, I am weak. I am not that great. It was very humbling in that way. I tried my best not to be demoralized by it, but to be humbled by it. That's what I'm trying my best to do right now. To not feel sad or bad about that. Just to be like, ooh, all right. Well, I got a lot of improvement to do. Because, like, I go to the gym, but I'm doing, like, weights and stuff, but I'm not doing stuff for endurance. I'm not doing this. Well, there's specific things you got to do, of course, with these different exercises, but I mean, for these specific work things. But I just felt weak, and I don't want to be weak. So I got to figure out how I can be stronger in more form than just the forms I've been working on. So I got to diversify my workout bonds, and just do better on that. Just get stronger and better. I want to be a bulky person, but maybe I'm going to have to figure out a more, a lot of strength, but just being sleeker, maybe smaller, because that pipe was stressful. I don't know if, because you have to do this, not do this again every year, but you have to relearn all this stuff every year, and they haven't told us what you have to do on that, and I'm like, okay, I might want to slim down for that in case we have to do all those pipes again. Because that was so stressful, and it was so scary and everything, and oh my god. Oh my god. Yeesh. So that's Confined Space. Why do we do Confined Space? Because people gotta do it. I need to do things with Confined Space. And every 2 weeks, I get an extra hundo on my paycheck for risking my life. That's the price of it. I get an extra 100 for risking my life once a week. That's what's happening there. And it's a very real thing. People do get killed in this thing, as I said the other times. And even people who are just meant to be well-regulated still dying. A supervisor, like last week or a couple days ago in Utah, he died. And they don't even know how it happened. He wasn't wearing the proper stuff. Somehow he fell in and he drowned. He just straight up died. Should have had all the safety stuff equipped, but he didn't, and he's dead. It was a supervisor. That's a higher level guy. That's someone who should know better. So basically, lessons: don't be complacent when it comes to safety. Don't. And it was just scary, so stressful. And so I'm just sharing that with y'all because I thought that was very interesting. And holy crap. Now, the rest of this video will be about the direct. I don't know how long that'll be because I'm going to watch it. It's 40-minute direct. I might have only a little bit of reactions to it. But we'll talk about the direct after I see it. So, out here. Scarf after seeing the direct. Yup. Yup. I'm gonna drop one. Oh. There we go. There we go. This does not look. This looks very, very not. No, I dropped one. Kirby in the shirt. There we go. This is gonna be the thumbnail, isn't it? Here's the other half of the vlog. Oh my god. Okay, so I cried. I cried at the end. Simple as that. I cried at the end. I come so much. So Smash Ultimate is gonna be ridiculous. So comes out on the 7th of December. I forgot about this Kirby right here. And then like the bajillion mini Kirbys I have too. But oh my god. The direct was sweet. So spirits? Alright, so everyone got that right. Spirits. I was hoping for a story mode and then it's a story mode! Oh my god. And with spirits instead of trophies, we just have so many things going on, like so many characters that are memorable and everything. That's awesome. So they replace the equipment system with spirits, so that's pretty cool. I like that. So many characters. You can't ask Sakurai for anything. Just for the love of God, you can't ask him for anything. This is amazing. We're gonna try to 100% this game. We have to try. Come on, it's Smash Ultimate. I cannot wait. So much hype. So many characters. I just went ahead and made my poster roster. I'll put that on Twitter. The roster is Kirby, Marth. It's 9. Kirby, Marth, Ice Climbers, Pichu, because he's Pichu. Did I say Ryu? Yeah, Ryu. That's 5. So the other 4 are Captain Falcon. So 3 more. I forgot off the top of my head. That's not good. Okay, who are the other ones? Because they're right here. They are... Nah, I closed that window. Isabelle. Yep, Isabelle's going to be a main. Oh, and there's one more newcomer. Isabelle's going to be main, so she's 6. There's one more newcomer I'm going to make a main. I did not pick the potted plant. I did not pick Incineroar. Who was it? Oh my god, I can't remember who the 7th is right now. But, yeah, Isabelle's going to be in that roster. Isabelle will be in that roster. I think it's one more new character. Who? Oh my god, I'm just gonna look at the... Because I took a screenshot of it, because you're supposed to take a screenshot for the thing. I'm just looking at that really quick, because I'm a dork. Screenshots, and my roster is... Dr. Mario, that's who I missed. Oh, Jigglypuff. So, Kirby, Marth, Pichu, Jigglypuff, Ice Climbers, Isabelle, Captain Falcon, Ryu, and Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario's always been my preference for Mario's. Oh my god, I gotta see if I want Simon or not. Simon Belmont or Richter? I'm a fan of those guys, so that'd be cool. I would have been very happy for an Alucard, but he's a assist. I'm just hype. That's the best way to put it. I'm just hype. I'm really cannot wait. I straight up cried when that story mode got shown and Kirby survived at the end. Oh my god, I cried. I straight up cried. Straight up cried. Straight up cried. I think I need to just marry a chick who's into Kirby because there's no other way. Oh my god. There's no other way. I don't. There's the two alternatives. Someone who's a fan of Kirby or a fan of Hello Kitty, so the house is just pink as hell. Like, I don't even know. Oh my god. I'm a grown man who just loves this character so much. I shouldn't feel too embarrassed. There's grown men, even older people who love Mickey and other characters and Winnie the Pooh so much as well. So I shouldn't feel too bad about that. But, yeah. Kirby #1. Kirby is the greatest hero. Kirby is the hero that's going to save Nintendo. I love that. It's just another day for Kirby. It's just another day. Another adventure. Kirby has to go save the world again. He's going to go save the entire Nintendo universe this time, though. And he's gonna, oh my god, another Elder God's gonna go down to Kirby. That's how it works. That's how it works. I'd be surprised if the pre-scene to that death scene of everyone dying was Kirby having a cake, and then he just didn't have time to eat his cake, so he had to run off. Everything happens, and Kirby's gonna go get his cake while also saving the universe. Like, that's what's gonna happen. I don't even know. I'm just hyped. That's the best way to put it. I am hyped for the whole thing. I will try to 100% it. We will do amiibo fights. We will do just a bunch of fun things. It's going to be very enjoyable. We have so many amiibos. So many. I got at least 25 amiibos I can use. So that's awesome. And then we got to get all the new amiibos. Like, we're going to basically collect all the Smash amiibos. We're going to have to try. And I assume they're going to reprint all the old ones as well. Like another run of those, so that'll be great. And I'm hype. I am so very hyped for all of this. I don't, nothing else to say. No surprise, like those of you who saw the direct before me knew what was coming. It's a good time to be alive. It's interesting, because we know I did the Confined Space talk before this. It's interesting, this is how it ends, right? Like, I had a really tough day. I had an extremely tough day with what I had to do the last couple days, and then this direct comes along, and I'm just so very happy now, and I'm happy to be alive. It was such a stressful day, and just like that, in the matter of 40 minutes, I'm just so damn happy now. That is the beauty of life, the beauty of experiencing things. It's such a great thing. It's just so good. I'm so very happy and blessed to be alive, despite how tough and difficult it's been. For over some of the years. I'm just so happy and grateful to exist. I'm so very grateful to exist, and Kirby's been there with me for most of my life. That's why I'm such a big fan of Kirby. That's why that podcast can go over 100 episodes. That's why I'm gonna just keep pushing along. I'm just so damn happy. We need to make it. We need to make a Kirby Dreamcast Twitter already. I better get getting gear on that. Just make that already. I think that's really it. I don't know what else there is to say. Games can do this to people. I'm so happy. It's a good day. It's a good day despite how difficult and how nerve-wracking it was. I'm so happy just like that. The power of Kirby. That is the power of Kirby. That's the vlog. That's really the vlog. I hope you learned a lot from the Confined Space part. I think it's very interesting, and you just enjoyed fanboying out with me on Kirby. It's awesome. It really is. It's so damn awesome. It's wonderful. Just wonderful. So that right there is the vlog. I had fun. Hope you're watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun is combined. See you next time, and Kirby! Kirby's awesome! Poyo, 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 poyo. Poyo, 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 poyo. Poyo! Poyo, 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 poyo. Poyo, 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 poyo. Poyo! Poyo!